Live in Western Oregon, this is NBC 16 News at 5.
I wish I could tell folks in Eastern Oregon that our lives are going to get back to normal. It is just going to be a different type of normal.
Governor Kate Brown announces a partnership with OHSU in a push to extend coronavirus testing across the state. Good evening and thanks for joining us for NBC 16 at 5. I'm Alan Matthews. Now this testing will start the Be the Key study. The state's testing goal has 3 parts. Let's take a look at that breakdown. First, officials want tests available for everyone showing symptoms. Second, they want testing for anyone living in group settings like prisons or senior homes. But it's the third part, widespread randomized testing, that the governor called a game changer. 100,000 Oregonians will be asked to join the study. They'll monitor their temperature and other symptoms every day for a year. If they show symptoms, they'll get a home test kit. 10,000 of the participants will also get tested no matter what to get data about asymptomatic infections. Oregon health officials say so far testing numbers have been below testing capacity.
The number of tests performed per week, we think, is about 15,000 right now is where we need to be. But that's not the baseline forever. And as more people move about and we test more people with mild symptoms, that number will need to increase.
Health officials say those asked to join the study will be randomly chosen, but communities and households of color will be overrepresented. Invitations to join this study will be going out in the mail starting May 11th. The governor stressed it is voluntary, but she asked Oregonians to participate if they're asked. Meanwhile, the FDA issued an emergency use authorization for the drug remdesivir. It's used to reduce hospitalization time for positive or severely sick coronavirus patients. The drug can only be administered in a hospital setting by a healthcare provider through infusion or IV. The makers of remdesivir say it currently has enough doses to treat about 140,000 patients with COVID-19. We note an emergency use authorization is not the same as a full FDA approval. Non-urgent medical procedures are allowed in Oregon again as long as hospitals meet coronavirus safety requirements. Hospitals, clinics, and medical offices must have adequate personal protective equipment and follow all CDC guidelines. Nursing and surgery managers at Willamette Medical Center say they are set to go.
Patients who have put off having back surgery or knee surgery, it's super important that they get in the queue and get operated on quicker.
Chief Nursing Officer Desi Shubin says they'll be on a lower caseload for the first month and prioritize what surgeries need to happen first. Sacred Heart Medical Center at Riverbend is going through final preparations today. They will start taking elective surgeries on Monday. National Frozen Foods Corporation workers in Albany got tested for coronavirus at the Lynn County Fairgrounds. This as several workers and their family members have tested positive. The plant has been closed for about a week and all 270 employees have been out of work. Lynn County Health Department workers in yellow hazmat suits tested people in a drive-through site. The goal of plant and health officials is to check and find any staff who may have contracted coronavirus. Staff who test negative will be able to work on automated lines once the facility reopens.
They can't go back to work until, at least everybody who's coming in is tested negative. They've got all the PPE ready and available to them. We've taken an extra step to ensure that they at least have masks.
Teamster Local Union number 670 has created masks for all their members, not just frozen food employees. OSHA is inspecting the plant while it's closed. In Lane County, it's been 8 days since no new coronavirus cases have been reported. Coronavirus cases remain at 50. Lane County Public Health spokesperson Jason Davis says the county is working toward its goal of increasing testing. Davis says Lane County has a much greater capacity for testing compared to when coronavirus first broke out, especially with local labs processing tests.
At least 3,552 negative tests coming from Lane County to our local labs. And I would like to point out the fact that most of our tests are being performed here in Lane County at our Willamette and Peace Health facilities. So really encouraging news on that front.
Davis said in response to questions from the community that the county is not currently pursuing serological tests. Those tests measure the amount of antibodies responding to a specific infection. We turn now to a map to break down the coronavirus cases around the state of Oregon. Oregon Health Authority announced 69 new cases and 1 new death, making that more than 2,500 cases and 104 deaths. Despite new numbers every day, less than 500 of those cases are people hospitalized, and the state keeps pushing to expand testing to reopen. In our region, numbers remain fairly low compared to counties in the northern part of the state. Benton County added 2 cases. That brings their total to 32. Lynn County added another case, making that 87 cases. Here in Lane County, as we mentioned, we remain at 50 cases for the 8th day now. Deschutes County has 76 cases. Douglas County broke a 2-week streak as it added a case and now has 24. Coos County stands at 21 cases, with cases breaking out at the Shutter Creek Correctional Institution. We now know the identity of a bicyclist hit and killed just outside Lebanon Thursday morning. Lynn County Sheriff's Office say a 17-year-old man was driving a pickup on Fairview Road toward the intersection of Old Santiam Highway. Deputies say as the teen crossed the intersection, he lost control and hit 60-year-old Kenneth Hagler of Corvallis. No charges have been filed at this time. The cause of the crash is under investigation. We are also learning more about a house fire in downtown Coquille that displaced a family and their pets Wednesday evening. This happened at 6th Street and Central Boulevard. Sergeant Douglas Miller with Coquille Police says that the flames were coming out 6 feet from the front door and front windows.
It was reported to be caused by a kitchen fire, most likely a grease fire, and they were even able to get the fish tank and the guinea pig out. So everybody made it out. There was extensive damage to the house. I couldn't tell you exactly how much, but it was pretty extensively damaged.
He says it took about an hour and a half to get everything under control. Miller believes the Red Cross has been contacted to help the family. Coquille and Myrtle Point Fire Departments, Coos County Sheriff's Office, and Coquille Police Department all responded to that fire call. Right now, children across Oregon are learning from home and using technology to do so. It's estimated that the majority of kids have viewed pornography, some intentionally and others unintentionally. With more tech and potential access in homes, NBC 16's Kelsey Christensen explains that there are some things that parents need to know to protect their kids from inappropriate material on the web.
What Emerald Cumberland is experiencing right now has happened to countless parents everywhere.
I was blown away.
This week, Cumberland found out her 10-year-old son has been searching for pornography on his school learning device.
My husband pointed out to me that he looked at his browsing history and saw very inappropriate material. I am concerned because I'm not that savvy.
It's a constant struggle, I'll tell you that.
According to local tech expert Mike Owen, schools can add firewalls, but there's no single way to protect your kids online.
Even with precautions in place, there's no guaranteeing that you aren't going to run across things that you don't want to see.
According to a child advocacy group, some signs your child might be viewing porn online could be an inappropriate search history and spending more time on their device in the bathroom or at night.
You know, if there's a computer that's going to be used by children especially, it shouldn't be in their bedrooms.
But there are a few things you can do to help block out the bad online. Owen says buying Net Nanny could be a good option, or Googling how to enable parental control, since it varies by device and the service provider. But like Owen said, it's best to keep a close eye on your child when online.
There's so much material. There's so many wormholes you can go down.
Reporting in Eugene, I'm Kelsey Christensen.
Government leaders are hard at work proposing new initiatives to help in response of the pandemic. NBC 16's Cassandra Gutierrez now joins us in the studio. So Cassandra, how are local organizations getting involved in a nationwide movement?
Alan, Whitebird Clinic has been working with Representative Rashida Tlaib on her proposal to Congress called the Automatic Boost to Communities Act, or the ABC Act. The bill is pushing for several economic stimulus aspects. One proposal is the development of a new National Emergency First Responder Corps focused on mental health.
That's recognizing that there is a need for behavioral health first response within the public safety system. So that means somebody can go out and check on that neighbor who hasn't been outside in a couple of weeks. You know, somebody who can go out and talk to you about the isolation, the anxiety, and the fear that you're experiencing.
Black says it is surreal to be working on a nationwide effort during the global pandemic. He also mentions that because this is affecting all of us, they are pushing for a resource that can be able to reach everybody in the community. Whitebird Clinic is always accepting monetary donations, donated goods, and volunteer work. For more details on how you can help, or if you need help yourself, you can visit whitebirdclinic.org. Alan?
All right, thank you so much, Cassandra. Well, every year, Oregon football spring game brings in 50,000 pounds of food for Lane County. With that event canceled due to the coronavirus pandemic, a local company called Lockdown Performance organized an entire food drive to help make up the deficit. NBC 16's Maria Santora now joins us live from Oakway Shopping Center. So Maria, we hear some Ducks are out there pitching in as well.
That's right. Lockdown Performance called in some backup from Oregon football, and together they've made this process simple and safe. You simply drive up, an Oregon football player will meet you at your car, and then they will collect your canned goods. But this is actually day 2 of the food drive because yesterday they drove through our neighborhoods to help the cause.
We basically loaded up trucks.
How you doing, sir? Any cans?
We drove around different neighborhoods and collected bags off doorsteps.
Thank you for your help.
Bags and bags of canned goods, each one benefiting a community member and a food bank in need.
Wow, great to help the people.
Prior to this virus, the people that helps were already in trouble before this even took place. So most people in this community, they're getting just kind of a small taste of what it's like to be on that half right now.
Cans! Anybody got canned food?
But not only are they hoping to make up for the food not collected at the spring game,
we got some mac and cheese!
Together, we decided that why not bring a little bit of that Duck spirit back to the community.
Oh, Ducks! It was awesome to meet people,
Perfect.
See them at a distance, and just give us a small taste of what the season's like to interact with fans.
What they are doing is inspiring people and motivating people to give. It's not hard to grab a can of food out of your pantry and put it on your porch or put it on your driveway. But when you have the added benefit of getting to see somebody that you admire, I think it's a huge benefit. I think that this drive is really going to build morale in the community. It's going to inspire people to give.
in fact,
Cans going once, cans going twice.
How you doing, sir?
it inspired people to give even more than the team had imagined.
People have been more generous than ever before. Instead of 2 or 3 cans like at games, people are leaving 2 or 3 bags worth of food for us. So it's been an incredible response that we've been able to have so far.
Today definitely surpassed my expectations of how much food we were able to collect and how many bags were out front. I'm hoping everybody comes out. I got high expectations for tomorrow. Hopefully we can get twice as many cans as we have gotten today, and we're super excited.
Lockdown Performance and the Ducks will be here from 3 to 7 p.m. If you'd like to stop by and donate. For your safety, they ask you to please stay in your cars. They are all wearing masks and gloves, and Food for Lane County will be quarantining all of the food for the next 2 weeks. Reporting from Oakway Center, Maria Santora, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Maria. Looks like they're having a good time collecting food for a good cause. Well, coming up next on NBC 16 at 5, the coronavirus relief packages have needed a bipartisan approach to assist Americans and businesses that are hurting financially. Congress is now taking steps toward the next bill.